Okay, another miserable cyclocross race. Actually, it was kind of fun. Flyover Creek in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. We're gonna go do just 1 minute and then some highlights and things I learned, some of the cool stuff that happened during this race, and some of the not so cool stuff that happened during this race. One of which was this first sprint, and you can see here I'm about to slide out. Woo! Yeah, I went pretty sideways. The grass was pretty wet still in the morning here. It was like 10:30 in the morning, so there was still dew on the ground, and oh boy, the adrenaline was rushing after that. So yeah, I was in for it. There's lots of roots right there. I don't know what happened here, but I shifted. There's people jumping in over this log, and I went to the left-hand side, but I think I shifted and I couldn't pedal anymore. So chain got caught up and I had a mechanical. Mechanical, I got a mechanical. Sorry. Now watch how the people on the left pass me. So I spin around once or twice and get it fixed up, but man, am I losing some spots. I mean, like 10, 15 spots just from this. So luckily I took it in a positive light. You know, after that I was like, all right, well, that's how this is going to go. And I can just pull it back. So I was kind of happy how that went. I didn't just go straight negative like this race is over, why am I racing? I immediately switched over to, okay, now the fun part is to pull it all back, and that's going to be fun. So I was actually kind of happy how that went. Actually, very happy with how that went. It could have went very differently and very negatively, but that means I'm stuck in traffic now. So on this flyover, you know, I'm in traffic, and people are basically at a standstill until you get over it. So yeah, that's how this race started. So people were taking the high line here on the right. I went on the low end, and you can see I'm going to catch this guy who I was just behind, but basically everyone who pre-rode it and people who lived there said the right-hand side was faster, so I don't know what's going on there. Now, traffic into this hill. Anytime there's traffic, there's going to be problems, and you can see this guy on the left, he's going to go over his bars. So basic idea here was as soon as there's traffic into this hill, I knew it was going to stop, and I didn't learn my lesson. You'll see later, but I also didn't learn my lesson pre-ride because I should have stayed on the right-hand side here because these stairs were very unpredictable, like in terms of height and stuff. So I should have pre-rode that a little bit more and figured out, oh, you want to run up on the right-hand side in the rut. But this course is very pretty. You can see the bridge here. Everyone loves this course. Very highly recommended from everyone in Wisconsin. This downhill was very, very fast. I was pedaling most of this downhill. There's lots of routes. If you could avoid them, you'd be fine. But I was just flying. And just slamming on the brakes at the end. So I kind of like that downhill. So yeah, that was fun. Katie Keogh, World Cup row, saved me. She's just on her trainer, and this pedestrian's on her phone. You can see, totally oblivious to what's going on, and yeah, kind of got lucky there from crashing into a spectator. But yeah, that's how that section went. Now these were really fast. If you go too fast, ooh, you can kind of get some air. So if you go over and get some air, you gotta say wee. Wee. It's kind of the rule. And I didn't do that, so I almost crashed out. So here we are, back at the hill in traffic. I should know I'm gonna jump off, and what do? Not prepare for it. I just pretend like I can ride it, and then get stuck. Of course, Mark crashed there. It's kind of funny. So yeah, and again, why am I running on this uneven pavement that I have no idea about? So that hill was rough. This part, I've been doing pretty good passing people in tight situations, safely, but I mean, almost elbow to elbow, not quite like crit racing where you just like can brush an elbow and, you know, still be safe. I'm doing them pretty safely here in cyclocross. I'm not touching any elbows, but I have been pretty good at passing people in tight situations when I felt I needed to. So that was kind of interesting. Now this section of the course is probably the most pretty. You go into Lake Michigan, but the problem is sand at Lake Michigan. So you got to figure out, where to come in. And I was riding the beginning of this into the sand and then jumping off, but that was actually very hard to do. And you'll see later that the actual fastest way to do it was to jump off first. So here we are at the flyover again with no traffic, and I'm tall, so I can jump up like 2 stairs at once. But the problem is if you go too fast, you can't clip in, and then this becomes fast. Yeah, so if you don't clip in, it gets a little dangerous and sketchy. So here we are at the hill again. I have all the distance in the world. I get some speed, and look, I'm flying, catching right up. But this was just last lap. I had nothing left in me, so I couldn't make it. And you can see that cost me quite a bit of time here. He just flies away. And then there's any new guys, he just showed some encouragement. You got it. Yeah, anytime I see some guy. So here, I jump off first, And look at how much faster that was, just jumping off first and being ready to go. So yeah, that was the lesson learned about the sand here. So we're just having some fun. The guy asked me what lap we're on, and I'm like, the lap where I need to outsprint you. And so here we are in the sprint, and unfortunately the guy dropped his chain, so he probably had me. He definitely had me, but sad for him. That's how it goes. So anyways, thanks for watching.